Kalkbrenner's running it with him. Drops it into Black. 2nd and a half. There he heaves it at the horn. No good. At the horn, no good. And Creighton wins the game.
This is Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the 4th oldest Ford dealership in America.
That Sports Center play right there, he crawled right on top of him and just dunked it on his head.
Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, now hiring up to $29 an hour with great benefits. Come fill out an application 24 hours a day at Exit 3 off Interstate 40. Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer from Washita Farms. Log on at larkhemp.com. And Zelli Pasta. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Hey, welcome into our second edition of Hog Reaction. Tommy Kraft and myself in studio after Arkansas falls by 3 to the Creighton Blue Jays, 90-87. It was a thrilling game, one of the best games of the regular season to this point. Unfortunately, you came up on the low end in tonight's matchup. We got a lot to talk about. I know a lot of you have some thoughts. I already got some text before the show even began. Our number, 877-377-6963, as we get rolling here on Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
What an exciting ball game. I mean, if you had no dog in the hunt, you just happened to sit down in front of the TV tonight, what a thrilling basketball game. You wish you'd have won it. They were going to hand out the national trophy tonight, national championship tonight, but I think you come up short and you're a little frustrated and you're a little mad right now. But to think what this team did tonight against, would you agree, a very good Creighton team?
It's a really talented
really good Creighton team. To come up 3 points short, to have a shot at the end to send it to overtime with Nick Smith watching from the bench. I'm probably more excited now about this basketball team than I was before.
Don't pull the headset out.
Well, I'm sorry.
The excitement.
Well, I mean, you think about what goes on. I mean, logic just tells me this team's going to get better when Nick Smith returns, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you say that Creighton's someone you'd have on your short list for a Sweet 16 berth?
McDermott is one of the more underrated coaches in college basketball. He's probably one of the better, I say mid-major. They're in the Big East, so I guess you can't really qualify him that. But, yeah, he is a very good basketball coach.
Yeah.
That Shireman kid tested the NBA waters. You were actually in the running at one point for his services. He transferred from South Dakota State, if you remember that. That was a portal guy that I at least know that Eric Musselman and his staff have contacted. That kid could play. It wasn't just him. You have Nimhart, not the same Nimhart that you played last year for Gonzaga. I don't know if they're brothers or cousins or what, but that kid can play too. The big guy's name, you got the roster. What's his name again?
Shireman?
No, the 7-1 guy.
Oh, was it Kalkbrenner?
Kalkbrenner.
Ryan Kalkbrenner.
He was a force down low, not only offensively but defensively. That's a complete team. We told you all during the morning rush this was going to be a battle, and what you had to go up against was a veteran team that found a way to close it out at the end of the night.
Yeah, again, Ricky Council turned it in tonight. We're going to talk about him, but Anthony Black, another great night for him. 26 again for Anthony Black. I know it kind of sounds like you're talking about you won the game. And Arkansas, we're supposed to be mad because Arkansas lost. But to me, this is validation because, I think Creighton's going to be a second weekend team, and you just took them to the wire and should have won the game perhaps with Nick Smith not playing. I mean, it's frustrating, but it's a November basketball game. I think that's the first one. Didn't they show a graphic that Musselman's 19-0 in November games at Arkansas? So, I mean, might be the first November game he's lost as the Razorback head coach, and I'm probably more excited about this team than any of his previous teams.
Let's take some reaction on this. Again, we've got a variety of different ways you can speak to us on the show. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. We've already got a couple of texts on our text line, 877-377-6963. Let's go to Mina and welcome in Margot. Margot, you're on Hog Reaction. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, hi, you guys. You've been telling us it was going to be an exciting game, and it really was.
Mm-hmm.
My husband watched it with me, my son and his wife, and we were jumping up and down and yelling every time they called a foul on us. It seemed ridiculous that they called that many fouls on us and not that many on them. And I know I'm not objective, but it just seemed like over the top. And when Musselman got involved there, I thought they were going to throw him out. But I'm so glad he's so passionate about it. It just makes it more fun to watch the game.
You can say that again. You've got a passionate coach. Sometimes it gets the better of him. I know that he was really frustrated with how it panned out tonight. But, Margo, we appreciate your calling in. It's your first time calling in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm really enjoying this year. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it is.
I think what you just said, and Margo, we appreciate your call. Feel free, whoever else wants to chime in as well. Tonight's game, while there are negatives to take away, I feel, and I'm not one of those moral victory guys, but according to our text line, kind of how Tommy broke open the show, you guys have a lot of positive. This team did not quit. I mean, Anthony Black and company decided, you know what, we're going to keep fighting until the last whistle to the bitter end. I'm seeing Dwayne on Facebook saying he's real proud of the Hawks. Cody's chiming in and saying he's beyond impressed. Seth saying we win with Nick Smith Jr. tonight. That is something that I think a lot of you would probably have the same opinion on. We're going to have to wait and see to when Nick comes back, how he integrates and kind of combines into that fold. But to this point, I think you're proud of this basketball team. You lost to a great team that could very well end up in the second weekend like you just referred to earlier, Tommy.
Wasn't a lot of free throws. Margo asked about the fouls. Arkansas was ahead in the foul count in the first half, and for a lot of the last 6 or 7 minutes, it seemed like the foul count was like 7-2. Ended up 7-5 in the first 20 minutes. You know how many free throws Creighton shot in the first half? 1. Creighton shot 1. Arkansas shot 6, and boy, does it turn around by the end of the game. They have 28 second-half free throw attempts for Creighton. They make 21 in the ball game, 20 of those in the second half, and you could chalk up the difference in the game. It came down to the free throw line. Arkansas got whistled for a lot of fouls in the first 7 or 8 minutes of that half, found themselves in foul trouble, and Eric Musselman, either him, I couldn't really tell. Did Musselman get a technical or someone on the bench? It goes down the same way, but the foul was assessed to the Arkansas bench.
When I see the text, it usually, as a head coach gets it, it says the head coach, right? When I see it on the box score, it said
it's coach technical.
But it wasn't. It said bench on the box score that at least I saw.
Well, the one I'm looking at right now said technical foul on the team, coach technical, 13:57 to go. I was watching at a restaurant with the sound off, so I couldn't hear what the commentary was on it. But clearly he was hot about whatever happened, and there was some reaction on the bench. But that's something they're going to have to work on as the year goes on. This is an every game deal now.
Well, you think about the 3 points you lost by Devo's inexplicable flagrant one, where I think Nembhard hit both those free throws, and then the technical as well. I mean,
why do you call it inexplicable?
I mean, just grab the guy. Inexplicable by his own accord, not on the ref. That was absolutely the right call. He didn't make any play on the ball.
No, he just wrapped him up by the waist.
And
I don't think he meant to do it. I just think it's the way it happened. But I mean, I know the clear path is not there like it is in the NBA, but that's essentially what Nembhard had, was a clear path to the basket.
To me, Nembhard looked like he was about to get a layup, and Devo just basically grabbed him. And it's like,
no, that's right.
You can't do that, buddy. You're supposed to be the leader of this basketball team, and Arkansas had some momentum at that point, and they still, again, it was close, tightly contested throughout, especially at the end of the game, but you're supposed to be that guy. And I know guys make mental mistakes, stuff happens, but you can't do that. We saw Jordan Walsh as a true freshman make a true freshman mistake. Anthony Black is at the second free throw. I think that would have tied it up, and Jordan steps over the line before he ends up releasing the shot, or not releasing the shot, but releasing the shot and letting it go. And that's, again, a lane violation. Now, I didn't know this. The other guy stepped in too. Is it whoever steps in first?
Yes.
Okay.
And Walsh clearly stepped in first.
I didn't know. That was one of the things.
Yeah.
But
it's dead. At that point, it's dead.
Those are mistakes you cannot have in those type of situations at the very end. Jordan will learn for that. He's a true freshman. But those are two things that stood out from mental-wise that I thought were mental mistakes tonight.
All right, we're just underway. It's Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America. You can find them at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. We'll be there Friday for Arkansas game day in front of the Arkansas-Missouri game in the Battle Line rivalry. We're also brought to you tonight in part by Beckert and Van Buren, now hiring at up to $29 an hour with great benefits. You can apply 24 hours a day in person at Exit 3 off I-40 in Van Buren at Beckert. And by Zelli Pasta in Springdale. Join the Pasta Club at zellipasta.com. That's Zelli pasta.com. and Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer from Ouachita Farms. Log on at larkhemp.com.
We're getting text about this team will be different when Nick Smith Jr. is back. What I point to is the fact that they played this well and they still don't have him. As Jesse and Mountain Home points out, it is a unfortunate loss, but a fantastic game played by the guys, knowing that they're only going to get better from here on out.
It was a great measuring stick tonight, and I think you validated that you've got a really good basketball team. Ty, it's only going to get better when Nick gets back.
All right, more Hog Reaction coming up. Again, our number, 877-377-6963. Call or text. I'm looking at our live video right now. We've already got quadruple the amount of listeners and watchers that we had last night. I would guess it's probably the same on hitthatline.com and everywhere else here on ESPN Arkansas. Get in there. I know you got some thoughts. We'll get to those next.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Want to make the nice list? Give the gift of Lark. Make a list. Check it twice. Lark on ice would be nice. Make the holidays merry, really merry, with Lark. You get the idea. Lark, the full-spectrum seltzer from Ouachita Farms infused with just the right amount of THC and CBD, is a great gift to yourself and others this holiday season. And it comes in 4 refreshing flavors. Lark, a new way to celebrate. Find it at your favorite beverage store or have it delivered to your door at larkhemp.com. Must be 21 to consume Lark.
When you're thinking car dealers, think Randall Ford at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or shop us online at randallford.com. You know, this is the 4th oldest Ford dealer in America. 114 plus years of going strong today. 4th generation owned. Very proud to be a part of the River Valley. You know, they take care of local charities. They also help out the schools. They want your business. They want to earn your business. Come see us today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
J&B Supply is a proud supporter of Razorback Athletics and is your source for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical supplies. J&B Supply is a family-owned business serving thousands of customers in the wholesale plumbing, electrical, and heating and air conditioning business in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri since 1968. With their experience and inventory, they are where the professionals go. J&B Supply has locations near you in Bentonville, Springdale, and Fort Smith. Your source for all your lighting and plumbing fixtures. Learn more at jnbsupply.com or greathousefixtures.com.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Do you want to be a part of the team that makes the best pizza and wings in town? Well, I've got great news. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is now accepting applications for a full-time cook. Fill out your application in person Monday through Saturday between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. You'll get to make the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Order the double cheese and sausage. Right here, dude.
The holiday season is here. Road Chevrolet in Van Buren is rolling in new inventory, and we can't wait for you to come take a look. Over 40 new vehicles are on the way to our lot, ready to go home with you. Now through December 31st, customers who purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle will receive a $500 gift card just in time for Christmas. Buy now and make no payments until 2023. Receive up to a 120-day payment deferral for well-qualified buyers. Visit Road Chevrolet Van Buren, 2800 Alma Highway. Prices you'll love, people you can trust. See dealer for details.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Black's going to drive on the other end. Kick out. Brazil, top of the key. Three-pointer good. Trevin ties it at 79.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford. Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
All right, back here on Hog Reaction. Let's go right to the phone lines. Welcome in Cody, who is in Bentonville. Cody, you're on Hog Reaction, man. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call this evening, and thank you guys for doing this. This is awesome, and I hope this continues, the post-game reaction. But a couple things. First off, I would be really thankful. Imagine what the national media that's there in Maui questioning Musselman after that game. Did you see his post-game? How fired up he was?
I listened to it on the radio. I have yet to watch his press conference. Was it pretty spirited, Cody?
Man, it's like he's looking through those people with like X-ray vision or something, like laser beams as his eyes. It's pretty intense.
Hey, Cody, isn't it a good thing that they have one more game? I know it's late tomorrow. Can you imagine the plane ride home following that?
No, and that's what I'm saying. I would recommend people to watch that. I mean, he's
that'd be a
up.
long 8-9 hour flight, whatever it is. Oh man,
nobody would talk. Nobody
be glad it's downwind in the jet stream and not fighting it. Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, but two things real quick. If we had questions about offense, I think we're going to be okay. But the other thing, Tommy, at some point, maybe tonight, I know you get up early in the morning for your show. Dude, there's a stretch. I think what everybody's a little frustrated with, there's a stretch from like the 18-minute mark in the second half where we start exuding dominance, with athleticism. And we get on a run, and it feels like the game shifted. I actually started to feel pretty good about our chances. And then all of a sudden, I felt like we were stopping them defensively, but there were tic-tac fouls from like the 16-minute mark, 17 maybe on. And that's where the frustration lies. And then you throw in that technical foul with the Devo mistake, and it just added up, and it stopped any momentum we had. But the fight, even after that, to come back two different times from down 6-8, I just really impressed, man. And it's credit to Musselman. Calipari takes a while to get his teams jailed at Kentucky. Muss has got defense at least instilled for the most part. That's probably the best offensive team we'll see. But I'm overly impressed with everything. But I appreciate y'all taking my call.
Thanks, Cody. We appreciate you phoning in. Yeah, offensively, that's the best team you played all season to this point. I mean, they have 4 guys, I heard, in the pregame up for different various awards. I mean, that Nimhard kid could play in the SEC. That Shireman kid could play in any league. Doesn't matter if it's the SEC or not. He's going to go to the league at some point in time. And they've just got some dudes, and they play really well. They've got some veteran guys, and it's comprised of a coach in McDermott that knows what he's doing. And they were just the better team tonight, unfortunately, at the end.
Arkansas had 17 second-half fouls, Cody, and you pinpointed it. It was early in the half because I looked up with like 5 minutes gone, and the foul count was like 7-2. I mean, Arkansas had fallen behind and put Creighton in the bonus fairly early in the second half. Now, we can argue or talk about or discuss, a couple of those being tic-tacs, but there were some of that game. Arkansas was just physical and was taking it to them. And you mentioned the Devo play. And then the technical foul that follows that, which was team foul number 8 or 9 at that point. So, I mean, there were just some things that happened in that half that, to me, were open and shut. Now, there's always going to be plays you can argue and discuss and complain about. That's just the nature of the game. But I thought Arkansas was the more aggressive team coming out of the gate, Ty, in the second 20 minutes.
Well, I think what was odd to see from Razorback fans is Arkansas was the one that was consistently attacking the basket, even though they ended up having more threes than Creighton tonight. He ended up shooting, 8 for 20, 40%. Creighton ended up only taking 14 threes. And I think what was frustrating for fans is the Jordan Walsh block. That's not a foul. That's the softest foul that was called all game. He got blocked. The guy was dribbling for 10 seconds. Jordan was playing great D, stuffed him, and then he basically got tripped over, and they called a foul on him. That wasn't a foul. That was just a block. And it was plays like that you were just kind of like sitting there, or that when there was a play where Nimhard was just spinning around the circle, running around 4 times, and Cockerman or Bockerman, whatever the heck his name is just sitting in the lane for 6 minutes. And they don't. It's just stuff like that was frustrating for Arkansas fans. And I mean, listen,
don't beg for 3 in the lane, though.
Officiating didn't cost you the game tonight in some people's opinion, and in some people's it did.
Well, but the fact that Creighton had 29 free throw attempts and made 21. I mean, the free throws made. I know we talk about FTAs, but you don't just talk about the point differential at the line. It's 21-13. Yeah, I mean, so you could point to that as being a difference in the game, but like I said, there's always going to be a few calls or plays in the game you want to question. But in the end, Arkansas was the more aggressive team in the second half.
See, Rick thinks it was the worst officiated game that he's ever seen.
Well, it's November. I mean, we can't be labeling a game in November that is the worst officiated game.
There will be worse, Rick. I promise you that. Let's talk to Charlie, who's in Camden. Charlie, go ahead, man. You're on Hog Reaction.
Well, you guys are talking about the foul and free throw discrepancy. That's actually what Muss was pointing out in his post-game press conference. He said that is the most insane thing he's ever. He basically said, that's the most insane that as long as he's been coaching and the way the game was played.
Let's hear from him, Charlie, real quick, because I got the audio. Let's just go ahead and play it real fast.
Anything like it in my life. I've never seen a foul count like that in all the time that I've coached. A lot of games, a lot of years, never seen anything like it.
All right, go ahead, Charlie. I just wanted to play that.
Now, in fairness, the foul count was Arkansas had 22, Creighton had 16 for the ball game. So I bet there's been a game in his career that was more lopsided than 22-16.
Yeah, I agree, Tommy. I think he's just in the moment really frustrated.
He's frustrated. Yeah, he's mad.
Oh, yeah, and I think, you could just sit. I thought he was going to get tossed. I mean, you guys know how intense he can get, and if it wasn't for is it Coach Smart over there and Ronnie Brewer holding him back, he might get thrown out of the game. And you know what? I love it. I do. I think the kids, they play for him. They feed off of it. Yes, they got a couple free throws off of it. The Devo one was not a smart play. Listen, I love what Jay Billis said. I don't know if you guys heard it, but he talked about the fact, he was highly respectable. He was like, this team is legit.
Oh, he talked.
They don't even have Nick.
He talked, Charlie, to that, and Tommy wasn't listening to the audio. He was watching a place where it was just the sound. He talked more about Arkansas tonight in a loss than some commentators and broadcasters have talked about them in a win.
Mm-hmm.
It was
100%.
And all I ever hear is about how the national broadcasters never give Arkansas any credit. Billis has been highly positive. He's talked about he wants to go to Fayetteville. He's trying to get game day there. He talked nothing but good things about Anthony Black and your team tonight. It was. I thought I was listening in the Twilight Zone because that never happens for a broadcaster.
And he even defended some of the calls. He was like, "That's not even a foul." Like on Brazil, one of Brazil's plays, it looked like to me the guy hooked Brazil and kind of pulled him in. I think it did take away, like you said, Tommy, our aggressiveness defensively. When you get in such foul trouble so early, it kind of makes you got to back off a little bit. Yeah, I agree.
But to Musselman's sideline passion, we'll call it. Some would call it antics. That's fine, but you got to pick and choose your spots, and it can't be every game. We agree? I mean, you can't do that every night. And we see him, and I know it's passion and it's staying locked in regardless of the score, but that can't be an every game deal. And it seems like through the 5 games, it's been an every game deal to this point.
So you're not passionate about every game?
When you're up, like in some of these non-conference games where they've had the game put away, I mean, it's one thing to coach hard, but pick and choose your spots. You don't have a lot of credibility to me when you're arguing, when you're up 25. Coach your team and move on. I mean, you can't do this every game. That act wears thin. And here's the thing. When you do that, Ty, when you really need that juice in a Kentucky game or a game at Tennessee or a game against Alabama, all late February, early March games, you don't want to have used it all up by then, where it just doesn't mean anything. It's just part of the act, part of the price of admission. You can't do it every night.
I'm intense when I watch any game, so I get it from him. And he's a coach, and he has just a higher degree. But I also get it from your.
This was a game. No, this was a game where you do that. I'm saying you go back and even watch these games where this team was winning going away. We're still operating at that level. You got to save some of that.
But doesn't Saban do the same thing? He does the exact same thing. Saban can be up 42.
He's actually more calm when it's. If you'll watch Saban, he's more calm when the game's tight.
But that's what I'm saying. Saban, you're talking about being up big.
But Saban doesn't do this he doesn't go off and go nuclear not 12 games a year. He doesn't, man. Doesn't happen 12 times a year.
You need to watch more Alabama. Saban.
Well, I watch plenty of Alabama.
Saban goes berserk every single game.
No, he does. No.
He goes absolutely
in a moment.
ballistic.
There's going to be a moment. The problem with Eric is it's 4, 5, 6 highlight moments. I mean, you can't get a technical foul. 1 out of 3 ball games. At some point, I mean, I'm just saying there's going to be moments where you need that and your team needs to respond to that, and it loses its effectiveness. That's what I'm trying to say is the effectiveness of getting the technical and doing all of these things will wear thin when you need it most.
Are you talking about to the team or
I'm talking to the team. I'm talking about when the team needs that spark and that boost. When you do it every night, it's just not going to have the effect you want on your team.
So Mark in Prairie Grove doesn't think it's an act. What would your response be to that?
Oh, I think all of it's calculated. So if you don't think it's an act, then you think Musselman's out of control. Then you don't think he's in control of himself. You think all of it's just...
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
I'm saying if you believe and you go down that path, then you don't think he's in control of what he's doing. And that's dangerous if that's indeed the case.
We're going to open
You do these things in order to get your team to respond, correct?
Like you're saying getting the tech?
Yeah. Coaches all the time get technical fouls to get their team to respond and go to a next level. My point is when you do it too often, the effectiveness of that act wears off.
Okay. We'll come back to this. 877-377-6963. If you've got some thoughts on this, feel free to call in. This is Hog Reaction.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Contact your local River Valley Shelter Insurance agent today.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust, Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to ashley.air.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's ashley.air.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
At Alliance Motors, they pride themselves on listening to the needs of their customers. Everything they do is designed to make your car buying experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Visit them in Greenwood, 1305 West Center today. They realize you have a choice when buying your next vehicle, and their desire is to ensure you have the best car buying experience. At Alliance Motors, customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit them today and see for yourself the difference. Or visit them online at alliance-motors.com. Alliance-motors.com. Alliance Motors Greenwood.
West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services wants you to know that holidays are right around the corner. So if a turkey leg falls into the garbage disposal and you can't retrieve it, call 646-5151. Uncle Bob overflows the toilet and the plunger won't work. Call 646-5151. No hot water for Aunt Sally's shower? Water heater on the fritz? Call 646-5151. 646-5151. Have a happy holidays from West Ark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services. Call 646-5151.
Tired of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kimco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Real estate investors, are you being underserved and overcharged by your current property managers? Have you ever added up all the charges on your statement? Marshall's Management Group is locally owned, managing rental portfolios for the past 10 years in the greater Fort Smith area. With a new year coming, is it time for a new property manager for your investments? Marshall's Management understands. They are managing more than buildings. They're managing your money. Marshall's Management Group, 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
Black's going to drive on the other end. Kick out. Brazil, top of the key. Three-pointer good. Trevin ties it at 79.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford. Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Back here on Hog Reaction, 877-377-6963. Getting a lot more interaction tonight than we did last night, basically because it's night 2, and the fact that the game concluded in the form and fashion that which it did. Oh, man. Tommy, everything you're saying about Eric Musselman is correct. I love him, and I wouldn't trade him for any coach in the country, but sometimes it's too much. That's from Aaron on YouTube.
Listen, there's a time and place for this stuff, but I just think it has to be calculated. All I'm saying is the intent when you do that is to get some kind of reaction. Either you want the game called differently from the officials and you want to point out things you don't think are equitable, or you want your team to respond and go to another level and get a shot of energy. You know, but you can't do it every game, or then my point is the effectiveness wears off when it's too frequent. That's all I'm saying.
So I remember before the season we were talking about Jalen Catalon and KJ Jefferson, and you were putting out ideas out there that they should kind of change up their play styles and different. Now, I haven't watched Musselman outside of his now 4th year at Arkansas and the 1 year at Nevada that I watched them go to the Sweet 16 in Nashville. But if he's always coached that way, he's not going to change.
Well, and Catalon injured himself playing that way.
I realized that. And then
so how smart was that?
But
in the end, he makes an aggressive play and he tears his shoulder up again on that low block, and he's done.
Had a ton of success doing it this way. Have you seen a change from last year to this year, 2 years ago to this year?
I'm just saying, so far it's been very frequent in a small sample size of games. Through what was it, game 5? You're 4-1 now, isn't that right?
Yeah, 4-1.
So
correct.
Through 5 games, I think that's technical 2 or 3.
It's at least 2. But we don't. I mean, we were talking about it during the break. We don't even know if it's on Muss. I thought it was on Arginal.
But it doesn't matter. It's all on Muss. And I'm not talking about from a rule standpoint. Yeah. I'm saying if the bench is acting that way, the assistants feel the freedom to say whatever was apparently said. I don't know what was said, but something was said. Got to remember, you're also in a much smaller facility. I know it's loud in there, but smaller crowd. Things get heard. Clearly, whatever was said by whoever it was reached the ears you didn't want it to reach, or maybe you did want it to reach. The fact that even if it wasn't Muss and it came off of the bench, Doesn't that indicate, hey, they think they've got the freedom, they being the staff collectively, to say those kind of things that could get the team in trouble?
You know what, I bet, Tommy, if you go back and listen to the audio from the Creighton bench, they probably said some things here and there that could have got them teed up. It just didn't happen. Sometimes it's just in the earshot. You mentioned the gym and stuff, or sometimes maybe the ref was just tired of it.
It's the repetitive nature of it. It's the every possession nature of it. It's the on and on and on and on every trip nature of it.
Michael brings up, he said he would have gotten ejected too if he was coaching. It was the worst officiating that he's ever seen. And to your point about,
that's not the worst officiating. I mean, you may not agree with it, but it's November.
Well,
you'll have games you're going to come back and say that again in 2 or 3 weeks.
I mean, do you think Eric's going to change in the next 20-something games?
No, but it seems like it. Would you agree it seems more frequent
than last year or last 3 years?
Already through 5 games? That's my only point is use it when it matters the most. And this might be a game that matters the most. I'm looking at it from a 5-game perspective, not a 1/2 perspective tonight. All right, so understand my viewpoint on this is not just what happened at the 14-minute mark today. It's what we're seeing over the course of this season. And there's been spots where you're up 15 or 20, and we're seeing similar type arguments and behavior. Save it. My point is save it for when it matters most.
You should go to a press
Use
conference.
your bullets when it matters the most. Hey, it ain't my job to tell him what to do. He knows far more about it than me. I'm giving you my opinion. My opinion is you only have so many of those bullets in your holster throughout the year. Save them for when they matter. Today was a point where I thought it mattered. You need to use it. I'm just saying it can't be every game.
All right, fair foul. He's developed more cachet nationally.
Oh, absolutely.
Fair foul. He's developed more cachet with this fan base.
Well, I mean, are these rhetorical questions?
Fair foul. That could lead to an ego boost.
Okay.
Correct or
yeah, I mean,
does he feel like he has more?
Are these supposed to be hard questions?
I'm asking you if you think this is yes or no. So you think there's been a change. You've stated you think there's been a change. So do you think he feels like that he has more room than he has the first 3 years? Because you just
it's
stated,
not what the fans think.
No, but I'm asking you that leads into it when you feel like all this thing. I got this going. I got 5 stars, top 10, blah 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 blah. If that's the case, you feel like through the first 5 games that he's been more boisterous when it comes to talking to officials.
Am I wrong?
I'm asking you.
I'm not saying it's just talking to officials. I'm just saying it's sideline
etiquette,
antics. Decorum would be the word the rules committee would use. Bench decorum.
So does Hunter need to say something to him?
I don't think he will.
So you're just going to let him run amok?
Well, I mean, it ain't my job. I mean, I'm just giving you my opinion. I mean, it ain't my job to tell him how to behave. I'm just telling you, and I don't have a problem with what he's doing. I mean, again, don't confuse what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with what he's doing. I'm just saying you need to save it for when it's going to matter the most. This was a game I thought you could fire that shot.
Derek says, you sound like my dad when he's lost an argument and still continues to argue because he can't stand to lose an argument.
Are you talking to you or me?
Said Tommy sounds like my dad. It says Tommy on this.
Well, I don't know that I've lost an argument here. So,
all right, so you've stated a point. What is the now resolution to that said point? You've stated that you think
when
this
you're up 15 or 20 in the second half, save it.
Okay.
That's I mean, there is no. I mean, no one's going to go tell Muss. I'm not. Hunter's not. Nobody's going to go tell Muss how to behave and act on the sideline. Nor am I suggesting they should. I'm just telling you what I think about it. What I think is there is a time and place for it. Today was one of those time and places. But would you say this team has gained a reputation as a difficult bench to manage?
This team has gained a reputation.
Would you say this coaching staff is a handful on the sideline? Would you say that's fair?
I think Eric, since he's arrived at Arkansas, is intense as heck. I mean, when it comes to coaching, talking, I mean, it's not just talking to officials, talking to players, talking to anyone. He's just an intense dude. Yeah. So I don't think they've gained a reputation. I think they've had it. I don't think.
You don't think it's amplified over the last year or two?
I don't know. I mean, when's the other time you can think of a bench tech?
Well, it's already. Hang on. What are you defining as a bench technical? Because
it's not
anything on. Well,
if you're talking about the reputation, okay, whatever. Well, I don't know the proper way to articulate it, but you're talking about the bench. I'm not talking about Muss as a whole. I think it's pretty established that he gets intense and over intense sometimes. You're talking about his coaches, his players. So if that's the case, then it should be pretty easy to pop off, right? If that's the case. But if we can't think of one at this moment, right?
Well, no, there was one on, was it Riley? Not Riley Hall. One of those guys on the bench got one 2 years ago. That was a GA or whatever he was, because it must talked about that after the game.
Beard guy.
Yeah.
Was it South Carolina? Was it Ackerman? Not Ackerman. He went out, he's coaching on like Cali now. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, so it's but my point's not about the people behind Muffs. My point is with Muffs. That's my point. So I don't want to confuse the matter.
Okay,
but let's talk about the game. I mean, we can argue this tomorrow morning or whatever. But in the end, this is a team that I think. Would you say this is a great measuring stick tonight? Do we believe Creighton is truly a top 10 team in the country? Do you leave with that impression?
Yeah, this is a really good.
I mean, Creighton right now would be on my early list of this is a Sweet 16 team if nothing changes. Would you? I think we'd agree on that.
Talking about Creighton?
Yeah. So, I mean,
a really good basketball team.
And I think we all, just logic tells me that Arkansas is going to be better when they're fully equipped with Nick Smith and kind of get all that gelling and rolling. So, I just don't, and the nature of basketball is much different than football. I don't leave this game tonight wringing my hands or worried that the season is over or, boy, we got some deficiencies, that can't be overcome. What we have found out in Hawaii is that Anthony Black is probably a better player than we first thought, and Ricky Council made another big case for himself tonight. So I think that's what we found out is even if Nick doesn't play as many games as you hoped, this rumor won't go away that he's not playing at all. I still don't believe that. But what we found out is they're going to be a good team without him, and I think they're going to be a much better team with him.
Mm-hmm. And you showed for the second consecutive game that you can knock down some three-pointers. Didn't knock down Jack in the first half, but then you started to catch fire, and they were open threes. Even Ricky Council had a chance to tie it up in the final 2 minutes of that game after an Anthony Black drive. It might have been in the final 45 seconds or whatever. He was wide open. It was a good look. He just missed it. So there's encouraging things to take out of last night's loss, and we'll continue to touch on those here on Hog Reaction. 877-377-6963 is our number to call or text in. More of Hog Reaction coming up.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
When you're thinking car dealers, think Randall Ford at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or shop us online at randallford.com. This is the fourth oldest Ford dealer in America. 114 plus years of going strong today. Fourth generation owned. Very proud to be a part of the River Valley. They take care of local charities. They also help out the schools. They want your business. They want to earn your business. Come see us today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Zelli Pasta is a family-owned shop at 809 East Emma Avenue, Unit D in Springdale, and they make all organic pasta with grains grown and milled in North America. Extruded through bronze ties, custom-made in Italy, which gives it texture allowing sauce to stick to the pasta. They have everything you need for perfect pasta at home, including fresh sauces. And you can pre-order lasagna and stuffed shells for pickup and enjoy homemade ravioli every Saturday. Join the Pasta Club for something new to try every month. Get delivery now. Log on to zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Contact your local River Valley Shelter Insurance agent today.
Are you a real estate property investor looking for a better solution to manage your property? Marshall's Management Group is a locally owned, fully staffed property management company that understands your lifelong investments are not just buildings, it's your money. Marshall's Management will maximize your bottom line. Call Marshall's Management Group at 479-242-7081 for a free review of your property portfolio. Right into a new year with a better bottom line with Marshall's Management Group. 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you can save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you can save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry! A deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook where you can check out their work. The holiday season is the perfect time to reflect on our blessings. Four Corks Wine and Spirits is thankful for you this holiday season. You're invited to browse around up front in the gift shop for that special someone. Choose from a wide variety of handcrafted wines from the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar. From bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, or some of the coldest imports in town, Four Corks Wine and Spirits has it all. 8000 South Zero Street, just past the intersection of Massard and Zero Street. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
You know that Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment in Fort Smith is your go-to shop for everything pressure washers. But did you know that they also handle your industrial pump and supply needs too? It doesn't stop there. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment's industrial vacuum trucks can handle dry, liquid, and even sludge removal from several hundred feet away. Leave the cleanup to the professionals. Contact Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment at 782-3762. That's 782-3762. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment, 3116 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith.
Black's going to drive on the other end. Kick out. Brazil, top of the key. Three-pointer good. Trevin ties it at 79.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford. Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Back here on Hog Reaction, about 30 more minutes left of the program. Again, our number, 877-377-6963. Got a lot of texts that we've been receiving, a lot of messages also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch as well.
I learned a little bit about the text messages in the break, apparently.
There's one text that actually agreed with you, and the other 15 didn't.
Censorship going on around here. Hog Reaction brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren. You can get hired now, 24 hours a day. Ty, you could leave here, as Clay would say, and drive over immediately to Beckert and apply at exit 3 off I-40 in Van Buren. Zelly Pasta. I need to check this out. You can join the Pasta Club at zellypasta.com. That's Z-E-L-L-I pasta.com. I have never been to Zelly. Have you?
I have not. No.
I have not. We got to go check that out.
I was watching their videos and pictures on Facebook, and as much as I'm a connoisseur of pasta, I'm going to have to get some at some point.
And by Lark, a full-spectrum seltzer from Washita Farms. You can log on at larkhemp.com.
Most of your text and comments have been appreciative of how this team competed tonight. Here's Eric Musselman after the game on his team and what they brought to the table.
We couldn't play any harder than what we played. Creighton's a great basketball team. I don't know what else to say, Chuck.
I think that might get...
I don't know what else to say, Chuck.
That might get played once or twice in the morning rush at some point in the near future, if I had to guess. But yeah, you could tell he was visibly frustrated. About a minute 10 on the post-game interview with Chuck Barrett following the game.
Yeah,
so
any longer than that might have got a little risky.
Dicey. Well,
keep your hand on the button any longer than that.
What I heard from Billis, or I guess it would have been Chuck and Z that were talking about this, losing coach goes in to the media room after. So that's why they got him first. That's how they said it. That's how apparently it's set up in Maui. I was unaware of that. Usually
I know he was a little bit later last night as the winning coach because of the media obligation.
That is, I was not aware of that, but that is what Chuck Barrett and Z did. And I've listened to a few of Chuck's calls. I mean, he had some fun. Trevin Brazil hit some clutch threes tonight. A lot of players hit some clutch shots. Even Jordan Walsh, under 2 minutes to go, he gets to the free throw line, knocks down 2 big free throws, was shooting like 66% to the season at this point. Guys played really outstanding basketball. I'll tell you this, that might be the only time all season you allow 90 points. I mean, Creighton's a really good offensive team. McDermott knows what he's doing. That's the worst defensive performance they played all season. And you say worst, that's the most talent you played all year in terms of the 5 games that you played. But I think they're still going to be angry with how they played some defensive possessions tonight.
You look at the 3-point field goal percentage, and you're probably pretty upset. 50%. That's a huge number for any opponent. But it was 7 of 14. So, Creighton ended up getting 53 shots up. Arkansas got 70. Some of that's explained away by the 17 turnovers that Creighton had. But in the end, the 7 3-point baskets weren't that big a difference. Arkansas made 8 of 20, 40% of their shots. That's back-to-back nights, Ty, that Arkansas has made 8 3-point baskets. Are we past the point of worrying about this team being able to knock them down from the perimeter?
No, because they didn't hit one in the first half. They were awful.
Okay.
And I think that, and that's, listen, I want to say that we're past that, but we're not. I mean,
they were 0 of 5 in the first half, so they didn't pull the trigger as much.
They're, again,
15 more attempts in the second half.
They don't need to be taking pull-up threes. I know Ricky had one, I think, last night, and I think Devo might have had one tonight. That is not Arkansas's game. It's when you get a set shot off a dribble penetration, which they're so good at. Trevin had a bunch of them tonight. Anthony Black, Ricky Council were finding him at the top of the key. A couple times Ricky was out on the wing. I think Anthony took one as well. That's what you want. That's what you need in the flow of the offense, not these pull-ups. And again, it hasn't been a lot. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's been a ton, but that's the key on that. You referenced turnovers. It was nice to see that they had single-digit turnovers tonight. While Creighton had 17, Arkansas only had 9. I know, again, we're looking for small little gold mines or little diamonds in the rough to take out of a loss, but at least you were in the single-digit turnover-wise.
Oh, that's right, and that's the number that Muss is looking for is that. You look at the rebounds. That's another area where Arkansas had 10 offensive boards. Creighton had 5. Arkansas led the battle on the boards, 35. Or Creighton led at 35-31, but Arkansas won it on the offensive glass. Creighton beat Arkansas by 10, but some of that's again back to the shots. But in the end, it was just a tight ball game. National championship, Final Four tickets, none of that was handed out in Maui. Again, it's hard to feel better in a loss, but this. And listen, this isn't Alabama football that you played tonight in basketball. This wasn't Duke or Kansas or one of the ultimate blue bloods. But I just don't know how you don't leave this game and probably leave Maui. Now, if you go lay an egg, mess the bed, tomorrow night, and it's a late game tomorrow night. We don't know who they're playing exactly yet. That game's going on.
Arizona and San Diego State.
Right, so you get the loser of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you mess the bed in that game and look bad, you're going to leave Maui, I think, feeling pretty good. I think what we did learn today is while you'd like to take a lot of positives out of that Louisville win, the way Louisville got drummed by Texas Tech just confirms that there wasn't a lot of value in the win last night. There was more value in the loss tonight.
100%. That's probably the best point you made all night, the fact that you
are
out. Taking more positive.
See y'all tomorrow morning.
Oh, we still got 20 minutes.
Man.
The fact that, again, that's weird to say, but it's true. And I bet Eric Musselman and his staff, while they won't say that publicly to the team, they're thinking that inside. That Creighton team's a Sweet 16 team. You could put the bet on Bet Saracen right now that they're making it to the second weekend. It would take a major upset based on the way those guys play offense. And Arkansas, again, what was, and they coming in, Creighton really didn't turn the ball over. That's what's so impressive about the Razorbacks is a team that is as veteran as they are. They still had a lot of middle mistakes that were caused by the Razorbacks tonight.
Well, and you played, I mean, it goes without saying, you played a much more veteran team, a much more mature physical team than where you're at. Arkansas is a young team, very talented team. In fact, Arkansas may be more talented in some ways, but that's a more experienced Creighton squad than what Arkansas has, and you will reap dividends from that game that you played tonight. So, there's a lot of good to take out of this, even though you didn't take a win away.
Yeah. All right, still more to get to here on Hog Reaction, 877-377-6963. We're back here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Zelli Pasta is a family-owned shop at 809 East Emma Avenue, Unit D in Springdale, and they make all organic pasta with grains grown and milled in North America. Extruded through bronze ties, custom-made in Italy, which gives it texture allowing sauce to stick to the pasta. They have everything you need for perfect pasta at home, including fresh sauces. And you can pre-order lasagna and stuffed shells for pickup and enjoy homemade ravioli every Saturday. Join the Pasta Club for something new to try every month. Get delivery now. Log on to zellipasta.com. That's ZELLI pasta.com.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert & Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
Frank Rowe Furniture Black Friday Week Super Sale starting Monday, November 21st through the 26th. Except for Thanksgiving Day, Frank Rowe Furniture will have a new shipment of Made in the USA furniture marked down with unbelievable prices plus no sales tax. You heard it right. Unbelievable prices plus no sales tax. Frank Rowe Furniture Black Friday Week Super Sale, November 21st through the 26th. Frank Rowe Furniture, best seats in the house.
Have you recently experienced possible hail damage to your roof? Is it just time to replace the one you currently have? Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance and adjusting and residential roofing. Brothers Roofing Crew has 17 years of experience themselves. He provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
This is Mark with W&W Automotive. Before you hit the holiday road, drop by and let us check your antifreeze. We'll also take a look at your battery, your hoses, belts, things like that. If it's been a while since your last oil change, well, we can take care of that too. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We offer front-end work and alignments also. Don't wait. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. Call 242-1600. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
The holiday season is the perfect time to reflect on our blessings. Four Corks Wine and Spirits is thankful for you this holiday season. You're invited to browse around up front in the gift shop for that special someone. Choose from a wide variety of handcrafted wines from the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar. From bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, or some of the coldest imports in town, Four Corks Wine and Spirits has it all. 8000 South Zero Street, just past the intersection of Massard and Zero Street. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
As a sports fan, you know the game, but do you know what to get the woman in your life? Do you know what Judy Blues are? Or what about a tunic or buffalo plaid? Well, don't let that stress you out like a fourth quarter turnover. Go to Firefly Boutique and Gifts. That's Firefly, light up the night. Firefly Boutique and Gifts in downtown historic Van Buren. They have all the things for the women in your life. And to make it quick and easy, pick up a gift card and get back in the game. Firefly Boutique and Gifts, 613 Main Street in Van Buren.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services wants you to know that holidays are right around the corner. So if a turkey leg falls into the garbage disposal and you can't retrieve it, call 646-5151. Uncle Bob overflows the toilet and the plunger won't work. Call 646-5151. No hot water for Aunt Sally's shower? Water heater on the fritz? Call 646-5151. Have a happy holidays from West Stark Plumbing and Expert Drain Cleaning Services. Call 646-5151.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel, and accessories, and great service. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Black's going to drive on the other end. Kick out. Brazil, top of the key. Three-pointer good. Trevin ties it at 79.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford. Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
All right, Tommy, you got an update for us on the opponent that you'll be playing tomorrow night. So it'll be the loser of tonight's game between Arizona and San Diego State. What's the score right now?
19-17 to go second half. Arizona leads San Diego State 40-35. Earlier today in Maui, Texas Tech beat Louisville 70-38. Louisville drops to 0-5 on their season so far under Kenny Payne, their first-year head coach.
Yeah, he's got some work to do. I know Louisville is a storied program. You think about Pitino and what some other talented players have gone through, but they got a long way to go based on what the games they've lost so far this season. Really got walloped the last two against Arkansas and Texas Tech. We'll see if he gets that thing back on track. There's others.
A few other games. Let's look at the SEC. Of course, Arkansas loses a close one to Creighton. We've been talking about that, 90-87, if you're just hopping in with us. In the Cancun Challenge, in the Riviera Division, you've got Auburn downing Bradley, an Arkansas opponent that's coming up, 85-64. Auburn moves to 5-0 on the year. LSU in the Cayman Island Classic beats Akron, 73-58. And Georgia loses to UAB in the Sunshine Slam, 87-73. So those are your SEC scores from tonight.
I haven't watched a lot of SEC basketball outside of Kentucky to this point. That's just the honest-to-goodness truth. I'm still very much in college football mode. We'll see whenever that does shift. And I mean, there's some other SEC teams that I think will contend, like Auburn, like Tennessee, like Alabama, maybe Texas A&M as well. Outside of that, I don't know what unheralded team is going to come out of the woodwork and actually compete for this league. But I have yet to turn the page till college basketball season, outside the Razorbacks, basically.
Outside of the Maui Classic, that Auburn game's the only other top 25 game going on today. I just looking at the ESPN scoreboard. That's kind of weird. Now, tomorrow, number 3 Kansas takes on NC State. That's down in the Battle for Atlantis. That game's at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Baylor plays McNeese. That game's at 3 o'clock. You got Kentucky taking on North Florida. That game is in Rupp Arena at Lexington, and the Baylor game is in Waco. And then number 11 Indiana hosts Little Rock tomorrow. That game is in Bloomington. Tennessee is taking on Butler. That game is also down in Atlantis. And number 19 UCLA and Pepperdine play tomorrow night at 9:30. So a lot of you have the day off. So some home games here as we head into Thanksgiving, and a little bit going on in the top 25.
Is tomorrow a holiday for a lot of people? How does that work for just standard jobs?
I mean, we're doing the show, but most of our office is off. So we'll still have our shows. I think a lot of people take off, but depends on if you're in retail or not. You know, retail will work till noon or 2 or something, or maybe a little bit later than that, depending on what kind of retail business you're in. But that's the thing about retail, and I salute them. I did retail for a little while. It's tough. You never get the day before Thanksgiving off, and guess what? You don't get the day after either, because it's one of your bigger retail days. So
I'd rather have the day after off based on the food you consume on Thursday and how tired and sluggish and sleepish you are the next day. But that's the
just be disciplined and don't eat too much.
because that's what you're going to do on Thursday.
I didn't say that's what I was going to do.
I'm not going to do that.
I could. I mean, maybe my body's acclimated. I can just go ahead and chow down on some turkey and ham and not be sleepy and sluggish. But well, I guess we're kind of in retail too. We're going to be here Friday morning, back at it 6 a.m. But we got a football game.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say we got a full day of stuff going on with the Razorbacks, so we don't get a lot of choice. And really, why would we want to be here when the Hogs play in maybe the greatest rivalry in all of sport? And that would be the Battle Line rivalry on Friday.
Oh, I'm tired. I can't even. God.
I mean, I know Michigan and Ohio State's a big deal. The Iron Bowl's a big deal, but maybe the greatest rivalry invented in the last 7 years could be the Battle Line rivalry. It's the best young rivalry in the country, without question. I'll hang up and listen.
I hate that they have turned that into a game that the SEC considers of consequence. I realize that you benefit by playing one of the worst teams in the SEC every year.
That's their new tagline. It's the nation's best, youngest rivalry in college football.
They'll steal it.
No.
They'll steal it from you. Well, just a reminder before we go to break, the setup of our Friday, if you're listening right now and you plan on listening to us the rest of the week, Tommy and I will be on for the morning rush from 6 to 9. Zach, or is it Derek and you during Arkansas game day? Or
it'll be me and Mr. Zach.
Okay, Zach and you on Arkansas game day, and then me and Zach post game, right?
You say with confidence. You are correct.
I was trying to remember the text you sent me today, so that's kind of the setup on that. That's the setup for Fridays.
We'll be here morning rush, normal time. So the game has shifted back an hour. We're so used to the Friday game being at 1 or 1:30, and now it's a 2:30 start this year in the battle. Do we like it still on Friday? Since Missouri, I think we loved it when it was LSU. I don't know how much do we like it now that you play Missouri.
I like it because it sets you up to watch the better football games on Saturday. I care more about the other football games this weekend than I do Arkansas's game against Missouri. That's
Michigan, Ohio State, I guess. I mean, that's the game of the weekend.
Yeah, you got Florida and Florida State. I'm forgetting the Friday. I don't remember if that's
Alabama,
on Friday.
Auburn. Thursday night. I think Thursday.
Egg Bowl.
I've got
Egg
this
Bowl's
computer
on
thing.
Thursday night for Mississippi State.
And Lane Kiffin's going to resign on Friday, so we'll cover that too, right? That's happening still.
Very well could happen. Have to wait and see.
So that going, apparently he met with his team. I saw a headline on that he had met with the team to say he had not accepted a job. He didn't say he wasn't going to accept a job, according to Chris Lowe. He's just saying that he hadn't accepted a job.
I guess that's the truth.
Egg Bowl, Thursday night, like I said, Thanksgiving night, 6 o'clock. That's on ESPN. A ton. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13 games on Friday, including the Razorbacks.
Is there any good game outside of
number 19, Tulane, is at number 24, Cincinnati. Not bad. 2 top 25 teams. That's 11 a.m., so that's kind of appetizer portion of the day, ahead of the big meal at noon. Baylor plays at Texas. That's also an 11 a.m. game.
That will be on our television.
So you can bet, you can bet your bottom dollar your dad will watch that. NC State at North Carolina. That's a good rivalry. Nebraska, Iowa, UCLA, and Cal play. You mentioned Florida State's on Friday at 6:30, and then of course the granddaddy of them all, Arkansas and Missouri at 2:30 on CBS.
Granddaddy of them all. So great that they send the second tier of CBS broadcasters to call the game.
Well, they got the second tier coming, huh? I thought it would be third tier, fourth tier, but yeah.
Is there
so 2:30 CBS. So
I don't know if there's another game.
The other 2:30 games are NC State, North Carolina, and New Mexico, and Colorado State also play at 2:30.
Good setup this weekend, sounds like.
So then Saturday's full of games as well. And let's see, Michigan, Ohio State is an 11 a.m. start. Georgia Tech plays early. Clemson, South Carolina is at 11. There are a ton of 11 a.m. games, and a lot of that's because it is so cold up north. They want to play early. They don't have a desire to play night games up north in November.
All right, one more segment of Hog Reaction coming up. If you want to get in here for the final time, at least tonight, there's plenty of discussion about this tomorrow on the Morning Rush, halftime, and Ruskin and Zach. Either way, we'd love to talk to you. 877-377-6963. Hog Reaction when we come back.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford.
Want to make the nice list? Give the gift of Lark. Make a list. Check it twice. Lark on ice would be nice. Make the holidays merry. Really merry with Lark. You get the idea? Lark, the full spectrum seltzer from Ouachita Farms infused with just the right amount of THC and CBD, is a great gift to yourself and others this holiday season, and it comes in 4 refreshing flavors. Lark, a new way to celebrate. Find it at your favorite beverage store or have it delivered to your door at larkhemp.com. Must be 21 to consume Lark.
Searching for a promising career change? Looking for an established company that pays competitively and values its team members? Then come be a part of the Beckert family. Beckert & Van Buren has immediate openings for production operators paying up to $29 an hour. Sundays are paid at time and a half, and night shift work has an added premium of $1 per hour. Applications are available 24/7 at Beckert, located off I-40 at Exit 3. Apply today.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good Thing Dent Source LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street across from Play It Again Sports or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Is your real estate investment portfolio performing the way it should? Do you have too many vacant days resulting in lost rent and higher costs? Those are the silent killer to your bottom line. Marshall's Management Group will keep your properties rented. And trust me, I know a thing or two about rentals. Marshall's Management Group understands these are not just buildings, it's your money. Start the new year with a new property manager. Locally owned Marshall's Management Group. 479-242-7081. That's 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
This is Mark with W&W Automotive. Before you hit the holiday road, drop by and let us check your antifreeze. We'll also take a look at your battery, your hoses, belts, things like that. If it's been a while since your last oil change, well, we can take care of that too. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We offer front-end work and alignments also. Don't wait. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. Call 242-1600. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Have you recently experienced possible hail damage to your roof? Is it just time to replace the one you currently have? Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance and adjusting and residential roofing. Brothers Roofing Crew has 17 years of experience themselves. He provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling that's been a part of their family for many years. Whether you're a child getting your first bike, an adult who hasn't been on a bike in years, or someone who's looking to podium at their next race, Champion Cycling wants to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, cycling apparel, and accessories, and great service. Champion Cycling, 5500 Mazard Road in Fort Smith. Find your next ride with Champion Cycling. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Black's going to drive on the other end. Kick out. Brazil, top of the key. Three-pointer good. Trevin ties it at 79.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Randall Ford. Hog Reaction is also brought to you by Beckert and Van Buren, Zelly Pasta in Springdale, and Lark by Washita Farms.
Final segment here on Hog Reaction. Our number 877-377-6963. Final segment, final thoughts on this game tonight.
Well, I think we both hit on the same point. You took some steps forward even in a loss tonight. And I said this earlier, you thought it was a good point, so I'll say it again. That there was more value in tonight's loss than last night's win over Louisville. Proven by the Texas Tech beatdown, what was it, 70-38 or something? It could have been worse than that. Louisville scored 13 points. It's just not their year. They're in transition with Kenny Payne. My point is we need to downplay what happened last night in your fourth win of the year and play up the one loss you've got this year, because I think to say is a quality loss or however you want to define it is accurate. When this team gets full tilt boogie and you got Nick Smith. And I don't believe these rumors and what people are talking about that he's not going to play a dribble and he's just here to wait his time in the NBA and all. If he's going to do that, he just went to the G League and made some money, man. I'm not buying that. So he's going to play. He's been practicing apparently. He's on the bench. He's dressed, but not ready. This team is going to be just fine. And if I think we learned anything else tonight, this team's going to be just fine to make a deep run in March.
That's the hope, and you just hope they continue on.
They're capable, at least. I think that's what we learned tonight.
Yeah, and that's a really quality basketball team. You'd love to play them again at some point.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait and see if you get to.
Yeah, maybe in Kansas City. Maybe you match up there with them. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
They're both in kind of that region, that area of the country. So we'll see. I'm not discouraged, though. I mean, I know some people are ready to jump off the bridge after a loss, and they're frustrated over officiating, frustrated over some things that happened in the game tonight, but you lost a game. You weren't going undefeated anyway for this season. So, I think there's a lot of positives out of this one tonight.
A lot more reactions to get to tomorrow on the Morning Rush. Bright and early, 6 a.m. Chuck's going to be back with us, he says, ? Yeah? You said it earlier. I just wanted to make sure.
He was going to try. Okay. That's 7 hours from now. He's got a long day tomorrow.
Okay.
He'll play till 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was going to happen with the change in times for Chuck. Hopefully. And Tommy, I'm Ty.